This is Hillary Goldstein, Editor-in-Chief of the IGN Xbox channel, here with David Clayman, Editor-in-Chief of IGN Insider.
Hello.
We're like your two resident GTA 4 experts.
Yep, been playing it quite a lot.
And we're going to be talking about multiplayer, and really just going to be focusing on the multiplayer modes we think are cool.
Right, the ones you're going to think are cool too, probably. The ones you'll be playing.
Yeah, so if we don't mention a mode here, don't bother playing it, because it's just pointless. It has no value. So I think the standard one's got to be Team Deathmatch, right? That's sort of like the standard bearer for all multiplayer modes.
Mm-hmm. That's the one that shows up in every game, and it's certainly in this one.
Yeah, so this is, GTA 4 multiplayer is completely open city, go wherever you want. You can have cops available, everybody has their own wanted level. You can have, all the weapons, traffic, pedestrians, all that stuff running. And then 16 people on there on Xbox or on PS3 going nuts. And Team Deathmatch is kind of your standard, set up multiple, up to 8 teams, just going at each other, seeing who can get the most kills. But it's a little bit different than what you see in a normal deathmatch because it's all about who has the most cash at the end. And when you kill somebody, they drop their cash, which is great because that means that you can't have spawn campers just sniping people because they're not going to be able to grab the cash.
You need to go get the money after the person dies, and that's how you're going to up your score a whole lot. So if you just sit in one area, maybe you can coordinate with your team to have somebody that's sitting there killing people, but you're going to want to have somebody also covering the ground that you've already killed the people on so you can pick up all the money. Deathmatch is not really just free-for-all, kind of like run and gun. There's a cover system and there's a radar system, so it makes the game a lot more about finding a good cover, a good place where you can take people out from behind cover, about sneaking towards groups, not just running in blazing. Also, think, when talking about the cover system, think about cars and things. They're mobile cover systems because you can push them anywhere you want. So, except for the fact that they're mobile exploding cover systems. So the game can get pretty complicated with tactics if you use it correctly.
Yeah, so another one I think that is going to be kind of, I guess you could maybe say is the meat and potatoes of GTA multiplayer has got to be free mode, which is 16 players in the city, no rules, do whatever you want.
Right. This is sort of the mode that people envisioned, when they were dreaming of what Grand Theft Auto would be when online was robust enough to handle it. This is just go nuts in Liberty City, and it's not some dumbed-down version of Liberty City. It's the full thing.
Yeah, and what's cool, it's hilarious because you start out in a circle. So imagine 16 people all standing around in a Mexican standoff. And for the first second or two, everyone just kind of looks at each other, and then one guy reaches for his gun, and then all hell breaks loose.
It really sets the stage for what this mode is all about, and it is not about thinking. It's about going crazy. And what is cool about it, too, though, is that you can find a lot of hidden Easter eggs, a lot of hidden things in the city with a friend. So if somebody has something they want to show you from across the country, you can hop into free mode and just kind of futz around, hop in a helicopter, and people can give you a little tour, point things out.
So people will be able to create their own game types, and say like, hey, why don't we do a defend the base kind of thing where one guy gets at the top of the penthouse or a couple guys get at the top of the penthouse and everybody else is just going to try to break in, or, set a race that takes you from one end of Liberty City to the other, or, whatever you want.
Yeah, this is a great setup for emergent gameplay. It's also a great setup for just mindless nonsense.
Let's talk about our favorite mode.
Cops and Crooks.
Cops and Crooks. Cops and Crooks is got to be the best mode that's available on here. And Dave, you love talking about it. Explain it.
Man, okay, so how many times have we gone over this setup? Cops and Crooks, this is the way the game works. You have a set of cops, you have a set of crooks. The cops spawn in a cop car, the crooks spawn on foot, and they have to find a vehicle, but the crooks have a waypoint on their map that they're trying to get to, and this is a vehicle, a boat, or a helicopter or something, and when they get there, they escape. The cops are trying to pursue them towards that waypoint, but the cops don't know where that waypoint is, so their only indication is where the crooks are on the map. The crooks also have a leader, and if the leader dies, it's game over in a particular game type of Cops and Crooks, where it is all for one. Basically, it becomes a game of cat and mouse, where you have one group going towards a point on the map, the other group chasing that group on the map, but you have to use team tactics, and that's what makes this game so great. Because when you get in the vehicle, somebody's got to be driving, somebody's got to be setting the waypoint, and you also have to be protecting the leader of your group. And the cops have to be working in tandem because sending one guy in against many is never going to work in this game. So you end up talking to your teammates a whole lot, and the team that talks is going to win.
Yeah, or the team that just has good driving skills. And you have to be able to navigate, you have to be able to drive, you have to be good in combat. And, you can sacrifice all the pawns that you want when you're the crooks, because the idea is you want to get that one boss to safety. And, people might be crazy and try to just hop the boss on a motorcycle, which leaves him unprotected, but he's in a fast, very maneuverable vehicle. Or you might want to pack him into a car and have just a bunch of guys around him and kind of do a caravan to get to the extraction point.
And it's really going to be a game type that people who get really good at the game appreciate, because say you're chasing somebody down the street, a group of crooks, and you want to hit the leader. Getting off headshots from a moving vehicle is not that easy, but the people who are able to do that, who are able to shoot out tires really well, this is a game of particulars, and it's a game of seconds because of the way the waypoints are set up. You're always just escaping with a little bit of time left, or just stopping somebody before they get away.
Next one, I think kind of the last of those team competitive modes that I thought was pretty good was the Carjack City.
Yeah.
And the Carjack City, the idea is that you have a variety of teams, and there are just randomly chosen special cars around the city that everyone's trying to jack at the same time and get them back to a drop-off point without having the less damage that's done to the car, the more pristine it is, the more money you get for it. And some of them will have drugs in like the glove compartment that make them a special bonus and such. But the idea is everyone's trying to get to the cars first, and then once somebody has the car, the other team is basically trying to intercept them and either do a lot of damage, take out the car, or jack the car, whatever it is. So you just see sort of a lot of high-speed chases, and sometimes a lot of strategy too, because people will know where the drop-off points are, so they'll camp at the drop-off point and basically just wait to destroy the car when it's about to be delivered.
Yeah, and it has that element of chaos where, you can play according to the game rules straight as they are, or you can just go and mess with everybody else and ruin their drop-off points, which is really cool.
We should also mention that there are 3 co-op modes in multiplayer. These are basically 4-player game that assume sort of the same mission structure that you would see in the GTA single-player campaign. Nobody plays as Niko, you just play as 4 random nondescript hoodlums. But, you do get to play through a mission, so there's cutscenes, there's an objective that never changes. You can kind of set the difficulty in a few minor optional parameters like the weather conditions and stuff like that, but it's always going to be the same each time you play it. And I'd say of those 3 co-op modes, I don't think any of them were that great, but the one that I would play the most probably would be Hangman's Noose.
Yeah, that sets you up at an airport, and you have to extract an NPC in a caravan or a vehicle of your choice and get them away from the cops and get them to an extraction point. And it's pretty cool. I would say that these are more like the stepping stones to get into multiplayer with your friends. If you have a bunch of friends, you guys are going to go on and play deathmatch, but you just want to kind of get your feet wet a little bit first, do these, because you're playing against a computer, you can jack up the difficulty level, kind of practice your driving, your communicating skills. It's kind of fun that way.
But there's not a lot of replay value in them. There's an achievement on the 360 for beating all of the set times for each one, but I don't think that's very much incentive to keep playing them. But, for 1 or 2 times through, they're kind of fun to play.
Yeah, it's a good starter mode for online play.
So that's it for our look at the multiplayer. Those are the modes that we love. So I'm Hillary Goldstein.
I'm David Clayman.
And we will see you online.